All right, so we're live on YouTube. So everybody just hang on a moment as we get live in all the places, and hopefully there we go. Yay. So we're live, going live on Facebook, and then going live on Instagram. Here we go. Let me make sure I put all my ats. All right, and now for those that are accustomed to this, I'm going to pull this up on my phone really quick and make sure that you say hello as you get here so that we know you're here. There we go. Whoop, whoop. All right, so let's see if it'll let me do, I think I did at everyone earlier, so it won't let me do it again. We shall see. All right, hello, Kelly. Nice to see you here. And so we're going to just kind of have a few moments while we wait for some people to show up, because we had a few people that were interested. And so I'm so excited to have you here, Dr. Nancy. And for you guys, some of you already know, maybe some of the newer people don't, but I've been working with Dr. Nancy to help me with some things in my body with my hip and everything. And so it's been amazing to have her expertise to help, and she is so gracious, and I'll just love the calmness. It just kind of lulls you in, you know. Takesha Ross, I don't understand. You put $70 in there. What's that about? Did I ask something? Oh, it disappeared. Hello, Delisa. Nice to have you here. So the other one must have been a mistake.
Like, oops.
I know. Oops. I didn't mean to put that in there. Hello. Sorry. Text went here. I was trying to figure out, Takesha, what was $70 about. So you're back. And she said, sorry, text went here. And you know, it's funny that you mentioned it. And if anybody's had this issue, let me know. Just put a 1 in the comments if you have. But I was, somebody had sent me a text, and I looked at it on my watch, and I was actually working with a client at the time, and I was talking, and all of a sudden my earbud said, send text. I thought, what? And I looked at my phone, and it had transcribed everything I had said to that client and was about to send it as a text. And I said, no, delete. So if anybody's had anything like that happen, just put a 1 in the comments, because I'm telling you, it was like one of those eye-opening experiences. I didn't realize how much, who was listening to everything I had to say.
Yes. Actually, therapists cannot wear their watch or iPhone closed because it records the conversation.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? Takesha says, I literally got a text at the same time you went live. Yes, I get it. Yeah, it's funny how that happens, isn't it? So I don't know where everybody's signing in from. And if you would, just go ahead and put where you're signing in from. That would be really good to know, because we have a lot of new people in the group. And so a lot of the founding members, I know where a lot of them live because they've been around for a while. But the new people, not so much. And it's been growing by leaps and bounds. And so there's a lot more people in here that I do not know now, not personally. So we're getting to know each other, right? So if you would, as you get here, say hello, let us know where you're signing in from. And we're going to Tallahassee, Florida. Oh, nice. Oh, did you have a lot of, I wish my geography was better. I don't remember where Tallahassee is. So did you have a lot of problems with all the hurricane stuff, Takesha? And I hope I'm saying your name correctly too.
I just love your accent. I can listen to you talk forever.
See, to me, I don't have one,
I love the way you speak.
And so everybody, this is Dr. Nancy, and I will do a formal introduction in a few moments. I just wanted to give everybody an opportunity to pop in here so that they don't miss any of the juicy stuff, because she's amazing. And I want to make sure that you all get to listen to the magic that she talks about, because she's definitely, it's been amazing. No, not up this way. We are in North Florida near Panama City. Okay. All right. I got you. I have a niece that lives in Panama City, and she did evacuate for the first one, Helena. She did evacuate, but then when she got back, there was no damage or anything to her house. So that was a blessing. But she did have to evacuate and was petrified. That was the first hurricane experience that she had. So she was scared, and she had a bunch of dogs. And so it was like, where can we go? What can we do? And so she was last minute. She ended up getting a hotel.
That's scary.
I know. All right, so we're 7 minutes in. Maybe we'll just wait a couple more minutes. So, Dr. Nancy, I don't remember. Where are you located?
In San Diego.
In San Diego. I should remember that. I don't know why. I wish I had known you when I went to San Diego to see Stacy, and we could have connected. You know, that would have been nice. So the next time I'm out that way, or you're out this way, we'll get together.
Yes. Yes, would love that.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to give it a couple. Can you look on your phone and tell me who had said they would be here, and I'll just tag them real quick. But I cannot look at it.
Kimmy.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. Okay. And who else?
Maya Mowad.
Monee?
Mouawad.
She's not popping up there, so I don't know why. So give me another one.
Tikisha Ross, which I think she's online.
Yep, she's here.
Okay. Laverne Poturalski.
Okay.
Jean Green. Or Jen?
It's Jean.
Jean, okay.
And
Kelly Stoner, which I think she might be here already.
I think so.
Okay.
And who else?
Beth Cook.
Okay.
Wendy Unger Shapira.
Is she not here already? Oh no. Yeah, Kelly says, I'm here.
Great.
And
how's your hip doing, by the way, Vicky?
It's good.
Nice. The next one is Chandra Cherry Berry.
Is that S or a C?
A C.
All right.
Oswald Perez.
I think he's out of town, so I don't know if he'll be able to be here or not.
Okay. Do you want me to give you the maybes?
Sure. We'll send it anyway. Who?
Lynn Callahan.
She was on the call this morning, but she might be at work.
And then Heather Mullen.
Okay.
Mullen.
All right. So we got everybody tagged. And so we're 10 minutes in, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So as you've all already figured out, this is Dr. Nancy. And is it Andrada? Is that how you say
De
it?
Andrade.
De
De
Andrade.
Andrade. Mm-hmm.
Andrade. All right. All right.
De
Well, yeah, it
Andrade.
goes against my Southern English, you know.
I
Uh,
know. I love that. I love your English.
um, so anyway, this is Dr. Nancy, and she has been instrumental in helping me so much. I'll just share really quick. I had don't even remember how it started, but I started having a little bit of an issue with my left hip, and it was getting to be quite debilitating to be able to work. So even I've got a house that has a lot of stairs in it, and I was having problems going up and down the stairs, and I'd gotten to the point where I could barely sleep because just a certain movement in the bed would send me crying in pain. And I did go to my chiropractor a couple of times, and I went on a trip to see Stacy Lauren in San Diego. And while I was there, it was like I felt like had aged 20 years because my hip was hurting so bad that we had to park closer. And I'm usually one of those people that parks so far out in the parking lot because I just want to get further away and get more exercise, right? So I had a hard time when I was in San Diego. I couldn't hardly sleep. And it was to the point where I remember at the airport, I was wanting to make sure, because for one thing, I may be older, but I don't want to look older. So I was trying to make sure that I was walking right, because I've seen some old people walk and it was like, that ain't going to be me. So I'm walking at the airport and I think I'm doing so good. And when I go through the security, this lady stops me and she says, I went through the scanner, and she said, is your knee bothering you? And I said, a little bit. And she said, well, we have to pat you down. So however I was compensating for my hip was doing something weird with my knee. So my knee was aching, and it was obvious to them, and they thought I had something on my knee. And so she patted me down. And then all of a sudden after that, one of those carts showed up, and he said, I understand that you might need a ride. And I thought, damn, and I thought I was doing so good, with disguising this pain. And I was concentrating, make sure you're walking right. And I've never had to concentrate on how the hell I was walking to make sure that nobody thinks there's something wrong, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I got back from San Diego, Stacy was amazing and actually introduced us, and I'm so ever grateful because after working, even the first time that we worked together, I could tell a huge difference. And so for those that don't even know what we're talking about, Dr. Nancy does this magical stuff that it helped me because, and I'll let her dive into it a little bit more, but and I shared this morning, I think, or somewhere, I don't even remember. But when something shows up in my body, whether it's a sore throat or it's an earache or my hip or whatever, I don't automatically just rush to the doctor because I feel like our body's talking to us and I just need to know what it is. And so I started going inside, trying to figure things out. That's why I went to the chiropractor, and I was just figuring there is something going on I need to know. And that was exactly what Dr. Nancy did. Was she was able to talk to my body and to figure things out. And it was just magic. So I'm going to go ahead and let her just tell a little bit about her and how she even got into this line of work. And maybe she can share a little bit of information so you can understand what she's doing better than maybe I explained it.
Oh, such a beautiful testimonial. Thank you for sharing your experience. Thank you. That means a lot to me. If you hear an accent, it's because I'm originally born and raised in Venezuela. And I was raised in an environment that was really spiritual. Like my father would take us to the mountains, families, and we would hear the angels speak and have very spiritual experiences that, when I'm a child, I don't care. Like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm tired, I don't want to be here. I didn't understand the significance of all of this. And my mom was more like shaman style, where, she would wake up and say, so and so died. They came to visit me last night. And, literally the spirits would come and visit her. Or if we had some kind of ailment, she would be like, let me grab this herb and this other herb and make you something and heal. And I would see every day, or not every day, but sometimes I would see my dad come over to the house with someone and do hands-on healing, and the person will be, enter the house sick and leave healed. So very exposed to all types of alternative kind of healing. And even for myself, I've had experiences of energy healing, even psychic surgeries performed on me, where I went to the doctor later and the doctor's like, how did that happen? And I'm like, I can't tell you. But but when I came to the United States, there's like really nothing like that here. Not, I mean, maybe starting to. And I just went into psychology. Psychology was sort of the route for me to connect to spirituality in some ways. And I continued developing my intuition, and I did my master's and my PhD in clinical psychology, and I sort of practice integrating my intuition, my spirituality, all of that. But in the past few years, I actually divorced from psychology per se, and I now provide more of a holistic approach to healing, which means understanding that the mind is not just the only thing that is operating. The body's speaking. Our connections to others is speaking. If you believe in God or spirit, or maybe just nature, we are all connected in some ways. And so to think that you only address one side of you is to miss the whole of who you are. And so, for example, when Vicky was speaking about a pain in her hip, yes, the pain is very real, and you need, Tylenol to suppress the pain. But the pain is a signal. It's a signal that is saying, hey, there's something going off here. And so if we can look at our bodies, if we can look at what happened in my intestines, what is happening with my hormones, what is happening with my daily rituals, am I sleeping well, eating well, exercising. If we look at all of the body symptoms, and then we couple that with the emotional components in our environment, then we can have a real picture of who we are. Not just like if Vicky went to a psychologist, the psychologist would be like, well, yeah, check with your doctor, but, just think positive or whatever. I'm not demeaning the psychologist's work. It's very powerful because I use some of that, but it's only the mind. If she goes to the doctor is like, well, here's medication for the pain. It's only the body. And we're operating so disjointed. If she goes to her spiritual gatherings, they'll be like, let's pray on that, or let's put some energy healing. And so the work that I bring is really tuning into the whole of who we are, seeing ourselves as whole and holistic. And so in my practice, when I work with people, in individual or in groups, I tune into what is happening in the body using my intuition, using the other person's intuition. We tune into what is happening in the mind, in the body, in your connection to something bigger, and then we find solutions a lot faster. And of course, I encourage people to become self-aware.
Right.
So you listen to your own body. You listen to what your body's trying to say, and you learn what your body needs. Not someone else telling you, but you learn what's inside.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And, I had an experience many years ago with a woman who was an energy healer. And all I really remember about it was I laid on the table and she put some stones on me. And then I kept thinking she was doing something that was making my body warm in places. So I thought she was putting heat packs or something. And afterwards, and I talked to her, she said, no, I was just putting my hand above you. And that was creating the heat, and the places that needed some work would heat up more. It was bizarre. And one only really thing that I came away with as far as needing some work was that I wasn't using my voice. My throat chakra was so closed up that I was holding everything in. So that's one of the things that I've worked on for a very long time. And like I said, my first choice is not going to the medical doctors. It is figuring out what I need to do. So I feel like you were a godsend to me, because it was like my experience now, and it's not 100% by any means, but man, oh man, I can walk up and down the stairs. I can get up in the middle of the night and go down the stairs without having to go step by step, one at a time, and holding onto the sides. And there was so many things I was having to do just to function. And I had to sleep in the bed with my pillows holding me, where I was more of a sitting position. And then I had to have something under my knees. And it was like this circus to try to make it all work. And I'm not having to do any of that now. And so it's amazing. And so it's not just the physical part that we worked on too, because, like you said, it's all of it. So we've dove into the mindset stuff and some of my limiting beliefs. And, as a hypnotherapist, that's one of the things that I do with people, is I help them dive into those limiting beliefs. The thing is that anybody that does this kind of work, you can only do so much on yourself, because you have to have, it's like I tell people all the time, the reason why coaching is so important is because even if you are a coach, you need a coach that can look at you and be the outside view.
See your blind spots.
Yeah, see your blind spots. And so even if you are watching now and you're a coach yourself, or maybe you're a nutritionist or an energy healer or a Reiki healer, whatever it is, you need somebody too. And so I would definitely advise you to reach out to Dr. Nancy, because it's definitely been life-changing for me, and I appreciate her so much.
Yeah. And for you, you were able to see the change and experience the change in a physical way. Your body was, and it was speaking loud and clear.
Yeah.
And
it had been talking to me for a while too. It's the crazy thing. If I had listened when it first started, I never would have gotten to this place. But it was one of those things. And I bet everybody that's on this call or watches the replay or is on Instagram, and you can just put a 1 in the comments if this has ever been you have this little ache or pain, and it's like, oh, I don't really need to pay attention to that. And you just keep going, because I do remember, and I want to get back to this, I was walking 2 to 4 miles every single day. And so one of these days, I walked my 2 miles and I felt fine. And then something came up and I missed a few days. And then when I went out to go for my walk, it was like I felt this little catch in my hip. And I just walked through it, and I kept doing that until it got to a point where it was like there was things going on in my life, and I won't go into it here, but that was symptomatic of what was going on. And so as my hip got worse, so did the things that I was dealing with. And so it got even worse. And so it was all of that. But if I had listened to my body when it first started saying, hey, something's wonky here, and addressed it then, I wouldn't have had all the pain that I had later on. Yeah.
And so bringing awareness to the little tiny messages, because some people may not experience a physical pain. They might have a worry, a tiny worry, or they might have a nagging thought, or they might feel disconnected from their communities, from their spirituality, something. It shows up in different ways. And so it starts very quiet, And when we are distracted, when we are scrolling on our phones, or when we're so busy we don't have ever time to stop and contemplate, when we are go, 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 distracted constantly, then we stop to listen to our inner wisdom. We forget to listen to our inner wisdom. Our bodies and our minds and our energies tell us constantly what we need. And we are like, la, 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 I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening. And
Well,
so,
sometimes it's not convenient. I think that's what it was for me, to slow
yeah.
down and listen.
And the problem is that we believe, right? That we believe is not convenient right now. But the body's like, oh, really? You don't think it's convenient? Watch this, hold my glass.
You're
Like,
going to
I'm gonna,
slow down real quick.
you're really going to slow down. I'm going to show you how. And so, of course, when we are in that space where we're forced to slow down, where we're forced to experience something that is uncomfortable, we can go into victim mode.
Yeah.
We can go into like, why is this happening to me? Life is so miserable. Things, I'm in pain. Da, da, da. We can go into that, which actually makes it even worse.
Right.
Makes it spin out of control into that dark hole, when in reality is an alarm that has been sounding for a long time. Like, hey, there's a little fire over here. You better pay attention. Oh, well, your house is on fire right now. You're burning. So these alarms are gifts. And this pain, unfortunately, it's a gift as well.
Right.
Is messages. And so the beautiful thing that you did, Vicky, is that you have been working already with hypnotherapy for a very long time. And so you know yourself, and like, yeah, I tap on this, I do this thing, this is what I'm working on. Like, it was so easy to work with you because you already know, and you teach people how to do this as well. And so you accelerated your progress because of your self-awareness, because of your understanding of how your mind works, how energy works. This made it completely like seamless. And so that's the number one tool that I want people to listen in this conversation is, you need to listen to yourself more than anybody else. You need to listen to your body. And so what that means is, how's my mouth feeling right now? I need a little water. And you have a little water, and you listen and you attend to those needs. How did this food feel in my stomach? Oh, I need to listen to that. That didn't feel so good. Okay, note to self, don't eat it next, or try something else. How did this person feel in my field? Oh, I didn't like it. Or yeah, that felt very harmonious. How did this thought feel when I thought about it? That didn't feel good at all. Don't think about it anymore. So this self-awareness comes in so many little places, but can help you align your life to really go into the flow, to really harmoniously attract anything that you want: health, relationships, wealth, anything. When you are in complete alignment, what that means is that your thoughts, your actions, and your connection to the divine is one. So if you're thinking, I want, I want $1 million, that's my goal. But your thoughts say, yeah, no, that's stupid. I can't have it. And your body's like, I gotta work hard. I gotta stress, blah, blah, blah. And then you tell God, I gotta control this. So I'm gonna tell you what to do. I'm not gonna trust. I'm going to do my way.
Yeah.
You are completely out of alignment. It's
Yeah.
not gonna happen. So alignment means that you tap into your thoughts, and your thoughts say, $1 million sounds not very doable. How about $10,000? Let's start with that. Let's see how that feels. Yeah, yeah, $10,000 feels a little doable. Okay, do I believe that guidance has that for me? I can release. I can trust. Okay. Oh, that person called me out of the blue. That's weird. Okay, you know what? I trust. Let me call that person back. Or I just found this card or this message or this, and you follow the guidance. that is aligned with you, then things start to shift for you.
Mhm.
Everything becomes at ease. The body creates the tension is when you're not at ease. Now, health is a little hard because when you are in pain or when you're suffering from something like autoimmune disorder or something very severe, it's very difficult to say, oh, yeah, this is great. I'm in alignment. It's a physical experience, and it's very difficult to not experience the pain. And so what I want you to know is that there's a lot of evidence out there that tells you it's possible to heal, tell you that it's possible to live with the condition in a healthy, harmonious way. And so your mind needs to look for that evidence, needs to search, look and inundate yourself with miracles,
Yeah.
with
You know
possibilities.
what's interesting is um when I first started having when it's got to be really painful with my hip, and it was like, okay, there's got to be a solution. There's got to be a solution. And I remember one day I sat down and I said, okay, I have seen evidence that people have healed cancer. So there is no way I can't take care of this hip.
Yes.
And that was after I got back from my trip. And that's when Stacy, all of a sudden, she reached out and said, hey, I've got somebody I want to connect you with that would be great for your hip. And it was like, okay, thank
Mhm.
you. So, but it was like, I, I was diving and feeling all the angst of it, which is what you do when you're in the pain, right?
Yes.
And it was just getting all of a sudden that revelation, wait a minute. I see evidence of it all the time. People
Yes.
getting healed from things and
Yes.
people getting older and defying all the odds. So this is not my life. And
Mhm.
that's when she called. So I just had to
Yes.
share that.
Yes. And I honestly don't necessarily work with a lot of people with physical pain.
Okay.
Um, the majority of my work is working with entrepreneurs and aligning them to whatever they need, right? Which is
Mm-hmm.
it could be, okay, my business is going well, but I'd like a relationship that is harmonious. Or my business needs a little shift. How do I tap into consciousness and bring consciousness into my business? And so a lot of the work that I do is allowing them to maybe integrate. If they have spiritual experiences, how do they integrate that into their lives, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And we've done
and
a
so
little bit of that work with my business stuff too. Yeah. Yeah.
correct,
Yeah.
correct. And the reason why I don't do a lot of body work is because the majority of the people don't know that the body's sending a mental message. So they
Okay.
don't look for someone to work on their mindset. They don't look
Right.
for someone that says, hey, let me see what is the message that my body's trying to tell me. Where do they go? The doctor.
Yeah.
But you, Vicky, have such an awareness that you said, okay, I trust this guidance. I don't know how it's going to go. I trust it. And you also know that the mind has a lot of power over the body and over pain. I've experienced and I've seen people go through labor, have surgeries with no anesthesia
Mm-hmm.
because they use your work. They use hypnosis. And
Right.
so you know that the mind and the body are connected, and that's why we were able to connect. But the
Okay.
majority of the people don't have that awareness. And that is the number one tool that I believe people should be aware of, which is
Yeah.
self awareness. Self
Yeah.
awareness.
Well, maybe that'll start changing because it is so much more rewarding because I can't guarantee it because I didn't go to a doctor, but my bet would be that the first thing they'd say is maybe they would do physical therapy, but more than likely they'd pop to, okay, you just turned 65. All right, hip surgery, and I don't want that.
No.
So, and one of the things for me, and I may be getting totally off topic, but is that I feel like some of the limiting beliefs that some people have told me about getting older. Okay. My mom used to always say, getting old ain't for sissies. So that's a
Yeah,
Southern phrase, you can tell.
I love that.
And then
Mhm.
I have clientele that some of them are a little on the older side, and they will make statements about, well, this is going on, and it's because I'm old. Let's see. Kelly says at the minimum they would have prescribed an anti-inflammatory. Yes, yes.
Totally.
Yes,
Mhm.
definitely. Now, I
Mhm.
will admit I did take some Advil because sometimes,
Of course.
but I utilize CBD gummies
Mhm.
to get me through some of that because I don't like taking the Advil in too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
But the thing is, now I forgot what I was saying.
Yeah. But I do have to say that I don't I believe that you have to go to the doctor. I don't think that you should not go to the doctor. Like
Right.
you must go to the doctor for sure. I 100%. Um,
I think when it's
but even
needed, right?
right,
But it's
but
not always necessary.
doctors have a, a boundary or a limit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is let me look at your body, let me try treat the symptoms, and that's what they do. They treat the symptoms. They are on crisis management, not
Right.
crisis prevention.
Right.
Crisis prevention is you listening to that internal voice. Crisis prevention is you eating healthy. Crisis prevention is you managing your thoughts. Crisis prevention is you going to a holistic, doctor, nutritionist, etc. Crisis prevention is you looking at yourself before you need support. Now,
Right.
the doctors are there to support you during your crisis, and they're
Right.
amazing at that. And I love them. I'm so happy that they exist and that medication exists. But
Right.
what we're talking about here is how can we listen to the wisdom that we have inside of us that tells us way before we need the doctors how to take care
Mm-hmm.
of ourselves,
Yeah.
way, way before.
Yeah.
And so there are, of course, supplements that you can take, alternative medicines and everything. But I also believe in medication. It's not a bad thing. It was created to help us deal with a lot of this stuff. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing too is I had told myself, if I do these steps and I haven't made an improvement, then I'll make an appointment at the doctor. But I
mhm.
want to try everything on my own first. Let's see. Kelly says, sorry for the distraction, Vicki. America's great homeopathic. Oh, let me maybe get it over here so I can see it better.
Yeah. And
Our healthcare system is for acute emergent cases, not preventative care. Yes.
correct.
Yes, definitely.
Exactly. Yeah. And so we have a lot of beliefs, right? Like you were saying, getting old is not for sissies.
Yeah.
And so what your mom wanted to say was that number one, I don't like getting old. It's a bad thing, getting old. Number two, it's hard. There's a lot of work on getting old. Number three, you have to be really strong getting old. So there's all of those beliefs around that one
Mm-hmm.
sentence, right?
Yeah.
That what are those beliefs saying? Be afraid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be afraid. And so when I take that belief in and I operate from fear, how is my body going to digest that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we need to do. How does this believe getting old is for sissies? It's not for sissies. What does that feel in my body? Oh, I don't like
Yeah.
it.
Not good.
Not good at all. And so why would I believe it? Why would I keep it? No, thank you very much.
Yeah.
No. Like things can, the body is just so incredible. Like I don't use glasses. I'm 53 and I don't use glasses at all. My sister, as soon as she turned 40 something, she's a physician. She was like, oh, I need bifocals right away because I knew that by this age we need bifocals. And
Mm.
I'm like, is that a belief? Because I don't have bifocals and I don't need bifocals, never needed, right? Is that a belief that she was like, oh, my body's saying that? Okay, I guess that's my mind is saying that. I guess I believe that. And I have seen people reverse their illnesses, reverse conditions, right? And like Vicki, it starts with thoughts and beliefs. And
Right.
it's not just thoughts and beliefs. This is why I'm saying holistic approach.
Right.
It's not just like, oh, I'm going to think my way into out of this. No, I also have to eat healthy. I also have to exercise. I also stretch. I
Yeah.
also am aware of the tension in my neck, in my body, and my position in my skeletal system. Like I am aware of me,
Yeah.
100% aware.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I started doing is I started hearing some of my older clients saying all these things, and every time something came up, it was their doctor was saying it's because of your age and everything. So I started looking for evidence of people that that was not true for.
Mm-hmm.
And so I share that with my clients a lot of times, and because they'll tell me that this is what happens when you get older. And I said, no, 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 no. Now wait. There's
Mm-hmm.
people right here that are a lot older than you and I, and they're doing amazing things. Their bodies look amazing. They feel amazing. So if it were an old age trait, that would be blanketed across everybody. It
Right.
would there wouldn't be any exceptions. I said, but there
Yes.
are. So um,
Yeah.
and so it's to me, it's like we like I share all the time, and we get what we look for. And if we're looking for ways that we're aging, then that's why as soon as everything started happening, I thought, oh no, 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 I am not going to be one of those people that just
Yeah.
succumb to this is what happens. I'm not going to
Yes.
do it.
Yeah. And so when we are experiencing something that doesn't feel right, that is either a physical pain or in an environmental experience or a stage in your life where you're like, I don't understand why this is happening with relationships or money or health, instead of looking outside of you, look inside.
Yeah.
Look inside and see, okay, what do I believe about this? Let's say that I have, um, I'm not making the money that I want to make. Let's look at all your beliefs about money. If you are struggling with something physical, what are your beliefs about that physical experience? If you are struggling with dating or struggles in relationships, what are my beliefs around that? So in this case, we are now uniting the the energy field with the mind field, and then when we go into our bodies and we feel that, we feel those beliefs, then we can say, this belief actually feels really good. It feels at ease, calm. I feel content. Okay, this is a good one. Let me keep it. This one feels yucky. Ooh, I don't want to do it. The tricky part is to find them because they're in the subconscious. They're like in this
Yeah.
box, and you're like, oh, I gotta find it. And so most of the time, that box is closed, and
Yeah.
you're operating la la la. The subconscious is speaking, but you're like, I don't know what's happening. And this is where hypnosis comes in handy because hypnosis says, hey, look over there. Okay, let's look at this box real quick.
Yeah.
Let's figure out what is in there. Come on, let's go. Oh, look over here, the little bird.
Yeah.
Get distracted. Look at the little bird. Come on, let's look at this. And it
Yeah.
brings it to the forefront and says, oh, did you notice that you've been doing this? Oh, actually, no. Okay, let's transform this. Let's change this. You know, so we can operate now from a conscious level, from this present moment, this conscious level, with awareness of everything that we've been bringing on, which
Yeah.
you are an expert on
Yeah,
doing that.
I love that explanation there. It's beautiful. I'm going to steal that from you.
Absolutely. Steal away. It's all in the field. It's all part of everything.
So we've got a few people on here. Does anybody have any particular questions for Dr. Nancy that she might could answer for you? And let's see. Like I said, sometimes there's a delay, so it might be a minute before I see your question. But you're welcome to ask. Let's
Yeah.
see.
And
All right.
and
Are
when we think
we?
about our spiritual connection, I know that some people don't believe in anything, and that's okay, because as long as you can have even a connection to nature, knowing that the world is moving around and you don't have to do anything about it. Knowing that fall came and you had nothing to do with it. Knowing that the snow is going to fall and it's going to be fine. knowing that the next day the sun is going to rise. So being in nature gives you a sense of perfection. It gives you a sense of um, something is looking out for me.
Yeah.
Every snowflake is perfect. Every leaf, the way that a caterpillar turns into a butterfly, everything is perfection. And so, who created that? If you don't believe in anything, that's fine. Nature created that. And so, if you can lean into nature and know that nature has medicine for you, then you can go into that. If you have a higher self, or God or divine or goddess, whatever you believe in, that is such a beautiful part of us connecting to something bigger, because then we can say, I want to connect to that divine part of me that is part of all, that is connected to this infinite energy, and that my consciousness is becoming aware and is sensing, right? When
Mhm.
you step into a room, you feel a vibe.
Right.
That's a weird vibe, or that's a good vibe. The vibration of that energy is what we need to learn more and more and more. Food has a vibration. People have a vibration. Books have a vibration. Your words that you tell yourself have a vibration. So tapping into that vibration is a beautiful way to stay connected to you, and know how to heal yourself.
Yeah. Beautiful. I love that. All right. Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me pull this over here where I can see it better. Takesha said, "This is great information. I have a question though. Does herbal healing disrupt the holistic awareness process, getting to the root of the issue? Can it be compared to crisis management?"
That's a great question, actually. When when the house is on fire and the flames are burning the house down, you cannot get to the root of what started that fire. You first have to put out the fire and then look at what started that fire. Firefighters have to first hose that down in order to see what started that fire. And so when you're using herbs, holistic herbs or medication, what you're doing is putting out the fire so you can silence a little bit the pain, and then realize what started that pain. And then you start studying your body, your environment, the food, but first you have to put out the fires. Soothe yourself. Did
Yeah.
that answer your question? I hope that.
Takesha, did that answer the question?
So it's a good thing to be able to support yourself that way.
Yeah.
It is. In rebalancing your body. Sometimes we're so off that we need something to pull us back in to rebalance our body. So if I have an intestinal issue, then I need my probiotics. Why? Because my body was out of balance. My body was saying like, "Hey, something is off here. Okay, I'm I'm low in probiotics. Let me help my body with this." But how do I know? It's because I'm listening to my body, because I'm
Right.
aware of what I'm eating. And so the probiotics help me get back into that alignment, into that balance.
Yeah. And Takesha says, thanks. Yes, it did. So that
Right.
answered her question. So beautiful. So, one of the things that I love that you do, and I know I'm putting you on the spot, but you usually give me like, there's like a little prayer, a little mantra or something that we usually get at the end of a session, and it's beautiful. I love it each and every time. So
Mm.
maybe, and I know we don't know everybody that's on the call right now or who's going to be watching the replay, but if you could give us a little taste, or give them a taste of just a little prayer or mantra at the end that might be beneficial to everybody. Is that
Yeah.
doable?
Yeah, totally. And so before I explain a little bit about that, maybe everybody can put in the chat something that they'd like to for me to pray on, or to something that you say, oh, physical health or financial health or relationship health, whatever. Just put it in the chat, so I have an idea.
Okay.
So what the mantras have been created to use the resonance of your word in order to shift the resonance of your body. when your body is out of alignment, it's sort of like the signal is off. It's not,
Mhm.
vibrating in alignment with yours. And so when we say a prayer, or when we hum, or when we sing, we are changing the vibration, and we are attuning to the vibration that matches our vibration. And so it can be in the form of a sentence. A mantra is sort of like a sentence, or it could be in Sanskrit words. It could be in a resonance, like a chant. It could be in the form of a song. It could be in so many different ways. But for you and I, we did more words because that's what was in the resonance for you at the moment.
Mhm.
So I'm curious to see what, if anybody wrote anything that maybe we can just cover all three aspects.
Okay. Takesha says wealth alignment.
Yes, beautiful. So I'll do. So the
And who
words.
couldn't use that, right? Kelly says financial freedom. Okay, so
Yes,
it's a money thing.
definitely, because
Yeah.
money is the energy that we're
All
right
right.
now. So some people experience pain to say, hey, pay attention, the house on fire. Some people experience financial pain to say, hey, pay attention, the house on fire. And so finances, or money, is also another way to get attention. It's another way of calling the energy. It's not that there's something wrong with you, is is a signal. And so we're going to
Mhm.
listen to that. And so this sentence, I'm gonna make it up as it goes. It's not gonna come from my mind. It's gonna come from guidance. And so what I like for you to do as you're listening to this live or in the recording is imagine that you have a blanket of energy that just is pouring down on you and is bringing ease and sort of soothing all of your worries, even if it's for just a few minutes, just releasing your worries, your loads, all of that, including your stomach, your back, your lower back, your hips, all of that. And so, as you are surrendering into this moment, imagine that this shield of light, or this shower of light, is shielding you and protecting you, and you open your heart to receive these words of love. You open your heart knowing that you are protected, knowing that you are safe. And as you allow yourself to receive, I'd like to invoke the energy of abundance that exists all around us. Abundance of air, water, joy, rain, sand, animal, plants, people. There's abundance everywhere we see. There's abundance of health. There's abundance of joy. There's abundance of relationship and love. There's abundance of money. So much money is ridiculous. And so, as you're tuning into this abundance, notice when your body contracts, and allow yourself to just let go of that contraction for just a moment and stay open. Stay open to the knowledge, to the experience of this abundance, and know that you can tap into that as easily and effortlessly as you breathe the air around you. It's available to you, and the only thing that gets in the way is your worries, is your thoughts, your limited thinking. But the truth is that you deserve this. You are entitled to this. You can have this. It's possible. And if your mind gets in the way for just a moment, like, yeah, whatever, it's not possible, just put it aside for just a second and stay in this moment of possibilities and notice how your body brings so much ease into this moment. Relaxing and knowing like a deeply true knowing that it is there for you. You just have to reach and grab it. It's there for you, for anyone that wants it. And so may this abundance come into your pores and change your belief systems and change your subconscious programming. May this feeling of abundance of air and ocean and water and plants and sand and earth, may this be a source of comfort for you. So when you are reaching out and receiving the abundance that is there for you, available, you can receive it with ease. So you can have this so easily and effortlessly because you are in alignment. And may this feeling stay with you for a long time, or can be easy to achieve at any time that you desire. And so it is.
And so it is.
Mhm. So the intention with these words is to bring a sense of ease.
Stacy's here now. She says, just got here. Love Dr. Nancy.
Aw, love you. The essence of these words are to bring ease into your body. Because if your body is on fight or flight, is on fire. And you cannot create on fire. You cannot create out of anxiety, out of fear. You cannot create. And so if you can remember one thing from our conversation today, is that you first have to be at ease. First, find that ease. And even if it's a moment. So put your phone down, set a timer, 10 minutes, just bring yourself ease. And let that spread out throughout your day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. So does anybody else have any other questions or anything before we go? Or maybe you just want to give appreciation to Dr. Nancy for being here, whatever. But just let us know.
And if you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to me. My Instagram account is Dr. Nancy De Andrade. I'm also on YouTube, or my website, nancydeandrade.com, or Facebook, LinkedIn. Just find me anywhere.
Okay.
Just Google my name.
Kelly says, thank you both for doing this. You're very welcome, Kelly. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
And what I'll do when we get off here is I'll grab all the links from you, and then I will share them in the description so that anybody that's watching the replay will be able to connect with you very easily.
Beautiful.
Because I'm telling you, thank you, Stacy, for connecting us, because it's been amazing to know Dr. Nancy. And Takesha says gratitude with some prayer hands.
My pleasure.
Of course, I always thought they were prayer hands, but somebody told me they weren't. So I don't know. Maybe that's what gratitude means. Yeah, to me they are.
Yes, same.
So thank you all for being here and for participating and showing some love to Dr. Nancy, because I appreciate her tremendously. And the more love we show to the beautiful people that come and support our community and share their expertise, the more amazing people we're going to have that will pop in. Stacy says, yes, 2 of the most magical people on earth. Oh, thank you, Stacy.
And if you want to change your thoughts and your beliefs, hypnosis is a game changer. Yeah. So definitely do that, and that will change your life for sure.
Yeah. So I know you've You've done tremendous work for me, and I appreciate you tremendously. And Stacy has too. I say the day I met Stacy is a day that changed my life. So anybody that's watching right now and you don't know Stacy Lauren, just make sure you check her out as well. She's everywhere. Everywhere. So thank you all for being here. And thank you again, Dr. Nancy, for sharing your gifts to the group. And I will have all the ways to reach out to her in the description column so that you can reach out however you want to.
Yes. Yes.
All right. And just a reminder, guys, I will see you all 9 a.m. tomorrow Eastern time. And you have a blessed evening. And thank you again for being here.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Bye.